Hello again my friends, it's time for another Destiny 2 news video, all the latest tastiest tidbits of info for your viewing pleasure. Let's do this. So then, Bungie's latest weekly blog post reveals everything you need to know about Faction Rallies, a brand new event for Destiny 2. Now, on Tuesday, September 26th, 2 AM Pacific time, that's 10 AM UK time, faction vendors return to the tower. Dead Orbit, Future War Cult, and New Monarchy, represented by these three familiar faces from Destiny 1. Jalal is the Dead Orbit vendor, Lakshmi 2 is the Future War Cult vendor, and Executor Hideo is the New Monarchy vendor. They all survived the Cabal invasion, and now they need your help to rebuild their factions. And this is where Faction Rally starts to get really interesting. You see, Bungie has turned this event into a competition that every player can help decide the outcome of. It's actually pretty cool. Let me explain exactly how it works. So then, when these faction vendors return to the tower, you can choose which of them you'd like to pledge your allegiance to. Choose wisely, because you can only pledge to one faction per character. Now, there's two main incentives that will help you decide which faction you'd like to posse up with. Firstly, the faction gear, which includes armor, weapons, and shaders, and secondly, a unique faction prize, and we'll talk about this prize a little bit later. First up, let's look at all that sweet, precious faction loot, starting with Dead Orbit, or as some players lovingly refer to them, Space Goths, because, you know, they dress in black and probably recite edgy poetry in a dark room, but it's all good. Here's the loot, and yes, the faction items are reskins of existing gear, decorated in faction colours and logos, and while unique faction loot would have definitely been a lot better, faction gear will still add variety to the loot tables, and the faction shaders will no doubt become highly sought after as they were in Destiny 1. And as I've already mentioned in a previous video, I already have two of the Dead Orbit weapons, the pulse rifle and the hand cannon. If you want to know how I got them, stick around until the end of the video. Next up, Future War Cult coming at you with the red, yellow, purple combo. If that's your bag, baby, you're gonna want to see the loot. And here it is. Now, it'll be interesting to see if any of the faction weapons become meta must-haves. I guess there's only one way to find out. Get them and start shooting things. And finally, we have New Monarchy. Regal, refined, and very red indeed. Alliteration aside, this is what you're going to look like if you pledge your allegiance to Executor Hideo. And here's the loot. Now, I've got to say, I really do like the New Monarchy shaders, red and gold, not too shabby. So yeah, now that you've seen all three faction loot tables, you may be a little closer to deciding who you want to party with. But there's one more thing you want to take into consideration. Now, like I said at the start of the video, each faction offers a unique prize in the form of a weapon. You see, Faction Rallies is a competition, a race to see which faction could generate the most loot. So once you choose a faction, you'll be able to earn faction tokens from completing activities like Lost Sectors, Strikes, the Raid, or the Crucible. And your faction tokens can be exchanged for faction packages that contains all the loot that we just had a look at. And the faction that generates the most faction packages wins. This competition starts September 26th and ends October 3rd, so that's an entire week of potential grinding. So then, the big question is, what does the winning faction get? Well, they get to sell you their unique faction weapon and make a little bit of extra cash for themselves. Let's have a look at these weapons. Right then, this is the Dead Orbit Scout Rifle. So far so good, I'm always partial to a decent scout rifle, and this is the Future War Cult Pulse Rifle. Again, not too shabby. Pulse rifles are among my favourite PvP weapons. And then we have the New Monarchy Sidearm. I mean, come on, New Monarchy, you're not doing yourself any favours here. You're up against a scout rifle and a pulse rifle, for God's sake. So there you go, choose a faction, complete activities for faction tokens, turn them in for faction packages, and the faction that generates the most packages in a week is declared the winner, and their unique weapon is then put up for sale. But there's also a little twist. If you back the winning faction, you can pick up their weapon for a mere 1,000 glimmer. If you didn't back the winner, you can still purchase the weapon, but you're gonna have to pay 50,000 glimmer. So then, which faction are you gonna side with? Remember, the amount of faction packages you earn will help decide which of those three weapons is gonna be up for sale. So yeah, leave a comment below and let me know. Now, I made a Twitter poll asking which faction you think is gonna win the rally, and after only 4 hours, 9,000 of you voted. Dead Orbit is the clear front runner with 53% of the votes. So if this poll is indeed an indication of the outcome, come, you can expect the Dead Orbit Scout Rifle to be up for sale at the end of the faction rally. I've linked the poll in the description box below if you want to add your own vote. And here's some other miscellaneous tidbits of news I thought might interest you guys. First up, Bungie helped tweeted out that to earn weekly clan engrams, at least half the fireteam attempting each activity must belong to the clan. So for example, if you want to earn a clan raid engram, at least 3 of the people raiding must be in your clan, and for the clan trials engram, at least 2 of the fireteam must be in your clan. And check this out, Bungie may have included a cheeky reference to upcoming content in the tower. Now if you look at the monitors opposite old Shaxi Poo, you'll see that from right to left, they display the icons for quick play, competitive play, and private matches. Is this a visual tease that Bungie will be introducing private matches at some point in the future? I wouldn't be surprised if this was indeed the case. And guys, if you were curious as to how Destiny 2 has been received by some of the mainstream gaming media, Sony put out an Accolades trailer. Have a look.
Destiny 2, available now.
Play on PS4 Pro.
So yeah, I think that'll do it for this news roundup video, my friends. Now, if you enjoy being updated about Destiny 2 on a regular basis, let me know by giving this video a cheeky thumbs up. Your feedback helps me make the kind of content you want to see, and it also helps this channel grow, so thank you very much. And if you want to see how I got my hands on those Dead Orbit weapons, click the image that's just appeared on the screen. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for daily Destiny content, and thank you so much for watching, and as always, tee hee hee, until next time, Guardians.